Question 584. What is reliction? Answer. Reliction is the gradual recession of water leaving land permanently uncovered. Question 585. What is avulsion? Answer. Avulsion refers to a sudden loss of land which results from the action of water. It also describes a gradual addition to land resulting from the action of water. What is accretion? Answer. The term accretion is used in real estate law to refer to an increase of land due to the accumulation of soil on the shorelines of a lake, stream, or the sea. 587. What is the main difference between a fee simple determinable estate and a fee simple condition subsequent estate? The answer. The difference is that a fee simple determinable estate automatically reverts to the owner if the deed requirements are violated, while a fee simple condition subsequent estate requires the previous owner to prove in court that the deed requirements were violated. Question 588. When the parties to a contract agree that personal property will remain with the property, this is known as, answer, an agreement. Question 589. Tony and Carl are married and own a home. It's their primary residence and they have homesteaded it. They have 2 adult children. If Carl dies, who owns the home? Answer. If a married couple with kids homesteads their property and one of them dies, the other inherits the property as a life estate and the kids are remaindermen. Question 590. This co-ownership unity states each co-owner has an equal right to enjoy possession and the use of the whole property, not just some designated portion thereof. Which unity is this? This is the unity of possession. Question 591. Jane owns her house. For the duration of her lifetime, she has the right to her property, unless she sells it, and can will her property title to her children after her death. What type of estate does Jane have? Answer. A fee simple estate. It is the least limited, most absolute interest in real property. Question 592. Maribel owns a condo that has exclusive use of a storage area in the basement. If a pipe breaks in the basement and the storage area floods, who is responsible for paying for repairs to the floor? Answer. The condo association is responsible. Yes, the storage area is a limited common element, and the HOA or condo association is responsible for paying for repairs. Question 593. Sandy owns a property by a reservoir, and her property line extends to the edge of the reservoir. In the past 15 years, the area has become drier, causing the reservoir to gradually shrink, extending her property line further and further. What word describes this process? The answer, reliction. Reliction is the gradual increase in land area when water gradually withdraws. Question 594. Tammy owns a piece of real property. What does she own? Answer. She owns the land and improvements plus a set of rights associated. Real estate refers to the land and improvements on it, but real property refers to the land and improvements plus the set of rights associated with real estate ownership. Question 595. What kind of lease must be filled out by an attorney? The answer, commercial leases. Question 596. For the past 23 years, the O'Reilly brothers have parked their motorcycles in Mr. Sanders' side lot with his permission. Now Mr. Sanders wants to put a garden in that lot and revokes their parking privileges. They claim they have an easement by prescription. Do they have an easement by prescription? Why or why not? The answer is no, because they were given permission. An easement by prescription must be open, notorious, hostile, and adverse. The landowner cannot have granted permission. Question 597. What is a negative easement? Answer. A negative easement is a promise not to do something with a certain piece of property, such as not building a tall structure. Question 598. The granting clause should contain an intention to convey a property. Answer. At the current time, the granting clause must contain words that state the grantor's intention to convey the property at this time. An expression of intent to convey at some future time is inadequate. Question 599. What is the name of the process by which the government exercises its right of eminent domain? Answer: condemnation. Question 600. What is the doctrine of laches? Answer: the doctrine of laches bars dated claims. In other words, if you don't enforce the deed restriction about fences, it may no longer be enforceable. Question 601. In which covenant does the grantor state that they have the title that is being conveyed in the deed? Answer: the covenant of seasons states the grantor does in fact hold the title to be conveyed. Question 602. The lot and block system primarily relies on which of the following to describe land? The answer: the lot and block system primarily relies on section, lot, and block numbers within a subdivision to describe a property. Question 603. Township lines run east and west parallel to the baseline. How many miles apart from each other are they? Answer: 6 miles. Question 604. Longitude lines or meridians run east to west, parallel to the equator. True or false? Answer: false. Longitude lines or meridians run north and south. They segment the globe along Earth's poles. Latitude lines or parallels run east to west, parallel to the equator. Question 605. The southeast quarter of a section would measure how many acres? Answer: 160 acres. Question 606. Township lines intersect with range lines to create townships, which are how many square miles? Answer: a township is 36 square miles. Question 607. Melissa signed a listing agreement with Shane, a local real estate agent. Melissa was then contacted by a neighbor who agreed to purchase the house, but Shane still received commission. What type of listing agreement did Melissa and Shane sign? Answer: an exclusive right of sale listing, which means the licensee is guaranteed compensation no matter how or by whom the buyer is procured. Question 608. What type of listing provides a commission to the broker only if their activities bring about a sale? Answer: an open listing. An open listing provides a commission to the broker only if their activities bring about a sale. Question 609. What is hypothecation? Answer: hypothecation occurs when an asset is pledged as collateral to secure a loan. The owner of the asset does not give up title, possession, or ownership rights. Collateral is something with significant value that a borrower pledges to a lender to secure a loan. The act of pledging the collateral is called hypothecation. Question 610. What is one of the biggest differences between judicial foreclosure and strict foreclosure? The answer: one of the biggest differences between judicial foreclosure and strict foreclosure is that strict foreclosure does not involve a foreclosure sale. Question 611. When Carrie's mortgage was transferred to a new owner, what was given to the new owner to verify the interest rate, remaining balance, and interest paid to date? The answer: she was given an estoppel certificate. Question 612. Whose interest does the recording of a lien protect? Answer: it protects the lender's interest. Question 613. Misha is applying for a commercial mortgage so she can finally open up a laser tag facility. She is able to convince the lender that the facility will have a net operating income of $500,000 a year. This along with an annual debt service of $200,000. What is Misha's debt to service ratio? Answer: 2.5. Question 614. Let's pretend the residential market in Tampa took a dip in 2010. What might you expect the commercial office space market to dip? Or when might you expect the commercial office space to dip? The answer: 2012. Typically, office space lags about 2 years behind the residential market. Question 615. What is the purpose of FIRPTA? The answer: FIRPTA is the Foreign Investment and Real Property Tax Act of 1980, and it regulates the purchase of real property in the U.S. from foreign sellers. Essentially, the law requires that if you buy property from a foreign seller, you must withhold 15% of the sales tax or the sales price for taxes. This way, the IRS ensures that they get taxes owed by foreign sellers. Question 616. Manuel is engaging in a 1031 exchange of one hotel for another. The seller gives Manuel money to cover repairs on the hotel. What is this called, and will Manuel have to pay capital gains tax on it? The answer: if a seller gives the buyer money to cover repairs, that is called a cash boot, and the buyer will need to pay capital gains on it. Question 617. Lucy's home has assessed for $600,000. I'll skip that one, that's a math question. Question 618. An Air Force base receives what kind of property tax classification? The answer is immune. Immune properties are city, county, state, and federal government properties, such as county courthouses, and military facilities that do not get assessed, and their owners do not have to pay property taxes. Question 619. Concurrency is a provision requiring what? The answer is: concurrency is a provision requiring that certain infrastructure be in place before any new development is permitted. Such infrastructure includes sanitary sewers, potable drinking water, and waste treatment facilities. Question 620. Tammy is building a new home. The National Flood Insurance Program regulations require her to build the house on an open foundation and at a certain elevation. What zone is this house located in? Answer: a V zone. Question 621. What is required by the National Environmental Policy Act? Answer: environmental impact statements. Question 622. What is the purpose of the Comprehensive Environmental Response, Compensation, and Liability Act, also known as CERCLA? The answer: CERCLA provides broad federal authority to respond directly to releases of hazardous substances that may endanger public health or the environment. Question 623. Which of these types of land does the Clean Water Act have specific protection for? Answer: the Clean Water Act has specific protection in place for wetlands. Question 624. What is an acceleration clause? Answer: an acceleration clause is a security instrument that makes the entire loan amount due immediately upon default. Question 625. What is alienation? The answer: alienation is the transfer of ownership to real property. It may be voluntary or involuntary. Question 626. What is the alienation clause? Answer: it is a clause in the mortgage contract that triggers the right of the lender to demand payment in full of the loan upon the sale or conveyance of the property, also known as the due on sale clause. Question 627. In property description, what is baseline? Answer: baseline is a parallel used in reference to a meridian to identify ranges, tiers, and townships in the rectangular survey method of land description. Question 628. In land description, what is a benchmark? Answer: a benchmark is a permanent marker of known location and elevation above sea level as established by a government survey team. Question 629. In regards to licensure, what does ceases to be enforced mean? The answer: it describes a license that is not active due to a failure to notify the Florida Real Estate Commission of an important change, such as change in employer or address.